from WBNE.
Howdy, yokes, and welcome back to Bacon and Eggs. I'm Tyler Carlin.
And I'm Ethan Edgehill.
And today is Monday.
And this is Bacon and Eggs.
So confront your inner demons.
And give the shield back.
Because today we're bringing you
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I'm gonna get out of bed and start my day. Cook up a breakfast of bacon and eggs. I won't check my phone till after my coffee. And then I'll go for a
This
jog.
episode, directed by
or
Carrie
I'll go
Skoglund, came out today, March 19th, 2021, which is when we're recording this. They got a 97 on Rotten Tomatoes. First episode of the new series. Ethan, before we get into, details, I want to know how you feel.
How do I feel? I would not personally call this a 97. This gets like a strong 70s for me.
I'm in a similar camp. I really enjoyed it. It was definitely a step up from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, well, it's a step up from just about every procedural type show that's ever existed.
I don't think this is going to be a procedural type show. Oh,
no,
you're saying
but
that's what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was.
No, I'm saying that's what this episode sort of reminded me of. It's less week to week for sure, but like a CSI, not CSI, CSI type show.
This wasn't as good as and I don't want to spend the whole time being I didn't like this for this and this reason, because I genuinely did like it a lot, and I don't have a lot negative to say. But just comparing to similar products, this didn't have the same oomph that Daredevil season 1 had, WandaVision episode 1 would have had.
See, I don't think it's even fair to compare it to them, because it's a whole different animal, right?
Right.
We
and
we knew that going in, that this was going to be Captain America : the Winter Soldier : the musical, the series.
Right.
And that's fine. That is okay. I will say that each consecutive minute was I liked it less over the course of the episode, past a certain point. I think we get really strong introductions for both characters.
I felt like the opening scene where Tony is in the desert and he's fighting off the two F-16s.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was Iron Man. The opening scene where Falcon is in the desert and he's fighting off two attack helicopters.
Yeah.
Dragged forever.
Couldn't disagree more.
I thought it would never end.
I felt like it was one of the best action sequences ever brought to television.
Maybe to television, but this is the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
But it's not. It's the Marvel streaming universe now. This is a different beast. If this was, say that Disney Plus didn't come out, right? Let's just, obviously it wouldn't happen like this, but imagine that Disney Plus didn't come out and they were ABC presents Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
If
and they
this
showed
was
you
on
this
television,
scene.
I would have been.
They showed you this scene on primetime television at 8 p.m. on a random Thursday.
On Thursday. I would have been blown away.
It would have had the highest Nielsen rating since the Super Bowl.
Right. Yes, in that regard, yes. But you can't pretend it's that. You have to talk about Netflix shows. You have to talk about.
You do, and this is a.
You have to talk about Game of Thrones.
Okay, yeah, this is not as good as the Game of Thrones pilot. It's not as good as the WandaVision pilot. It's not as good as the Mandalorian pilot. It's not as good as the Daredevil pilot. It's not as good as the Lost pilot or the Jaime pilot or episode 1 of Breaking Bad.
Right, and this does not compete with Mandalorian season 2 episode 1, where he destroys a crate dragon.
That cannot have possibly been episode 1.
Yeah, where he shows up and there's another Mando. Yeah.
Man.
He's not actually Mando.
I really enjoyed the sequence, and I'll give you 2 reasons. 1, because it was rad. 2, because
it was rad.
It was truly the only time in this episode that I really enjoyed Anthony Mackie's acting. Did it feel to you like every single line he said he was hearing for the first time?
It kind of did, but I think part of that was they were like, Anthony, we're going to write Falcon as this hero to his family that nobody would ever like. You know what I'm talking about? He just shows up with this puffed out chest, and then we're gonna level him down when he doesn't get the bank loan. Because I thought that scene went pretty well.
Yeah, I would agree. But like that whole interaction that he has with the soldier in Tunisia was painful to watch.
Yeah, but
Because
what I
that
liked
dude,
about
that random dude is like giving it his all, and Anthony Mackie's sitting there like, every time you ops people come in here, Red Wing gets messed up. And I'm like, your whole character thing was banter with Steve, right? Like, I get it. Steve's gone. I'm very sorry for you, dude. That sucks. You're like one of the only people that knows that he didn't just like drop dead.
He's also like not dead, is he?
I got to imagine that he dies pretty shortly after the end of Endgame. Right, like
This seems pretty shortly after the end of Endgame.
it's months.
Yeah, it's been a few months. People are... I predict... It's amazing how well the blip coincided with the pandemic, and Marvel is like just riding that wave.
Except they weren't, because this was cut and finished before.
Right, but they're saying things like, you know, when things go back to normal, and like the way that it relates is just...
I will say this.
It's like Marvel planned it.
Right. The more and more that we learn about the blip, about like what people went, I find that so interesting.
I honestly thought that when Yuri was there, who I have no idea who this character is, I thought he was going to be like, my son was killed in the blip, and then he was on a plane when the blip happened, and then when he came back, he just fell from the sky.
That didn't happen, though.
That didn't happen?
No. Because I've seen 155 TikToks about this now. It is apparently a line that's said in Endgame that Hulk snap got everybody back safely.
Oh.
That was part of the wish.
Oh. We're doing wishes now? I guess
whatever you want to call it, right? Like, I think that
Right.
you get to snap and ask the snap for what you want, right? Like,
right.
Will Smith pops out of the glove and is like, Mr. Hulk, please.
And the Hulk contracts a good wish.
Right.
Okay. I can jive with that. But I thought that was going to be like a point of contention.
Now, they could go back on that for sure, because I don't remember that scene happening, and I'll have to go watch Endgame again. I haven't seen it in over a year. Over almost 2 years at this point. God, time goes fast.
Have you watched any theory about this episode at all?
Any theory?
Yeah.
No.
There was only a few
I
moments.
stopped watching it and then drank a cup of coffee and then we're here.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
I made a phone call and then we're here. There was only a few things where I was like, "Ooh, maybe that's something." But I know that we're not going to get this because it's the comic book universe, and like there will be mingling and there will be cameos, and even in this, Rhodey was there, which I thought Rhodey was an interesting choice because he was. You got to go back to Iron Man 2008 when it was Cuba Gooding Jr. or Terrence
Howard.
Terrence Howard. They look the same, man. I cannot for the life of me, man. Watch that Submariner movie. It's
Just
not
finish
Submariner.
your point.
Anyway, they're going to be crossover, and so like you have to read into every line. You have to look at every chalkboard drawing. Everything's intentional. They brought in War Machine because I do think that there was definitely like a War Machine and Falcon are like the sidekicks, and now Tony and Cap are gone. So
there's a good parallel there. And also, Rhodey is still like a army guy, like an Air Force guy. Like he is the soldier.
Right. So it's interesting seeing like Tony and Cap pretty well abandoned the U.S. military.
Yeah.
Iron Man 2 is about privatizing world peace. Ultron is about a, shield around the world.
Yeah. James Rhodes has not abandoned the military.
He is still wearing the Iron Man 2 armor, like that the government paid for.
Right.
War Machine rocks.
With an X.
But like Yuri says, I thought it was strange in my heart, and I was like, are they going to bring Doctor Strange into this? And then in the promo, there's that line where they're like, Doctor Strange is a sorcerer, and a sorcerer is just a wizard with a hat, which, by the way, is not a funny joke. I saw that in the trailer, and I was like, crap, this is going to suck.
I didn't watch a trailer for this.
There was a final trailer at some point, and Anthony Mackie at some point is going to say that to Sebastian Stan. Maybe they just like lied about the trailers, because the first episode, Captain America gives up the mantle, and then Bo Burnham shows up wearing Cap's costume. It's not Bo Burnham, it's somebody else, but it looked like Bo.
Yeah, I mean, that's your climactic cliffhanger for the episode.
Yeah.
Is it like, and also, hey, Sam Wilson, what did you think was going to happen, my dude?
Well,
Did you really think they're going to sit the shield in the Smithsonian and call it good?
They would need to do something with it. Maybe not. I didn't think they'd do another Captain America, because I honestly...
Well, I think we're going to find out pretty quickly that it's not the military doing Captain America.
No, it's the Senate.
Or the 10 Rings, or anybody. Who the hell knows?
Right. That speech that dude gave
or
at the end
Hydra.
where he was like, we need a symbol of the American people. I was like, that's you, dog. You're the government. You're supposed to be that.
And if they had been like, hey, this is Colonel James Rhodes. He's Captain America and Iron Man now. He's the Iron Captain. I'd have been like, okay, I could have seen that one.
Yeah, the Iron Patriot is what they called him. That would have worked well.
But that was the War Machine name.
Right, but I think that if they could just like strap the shield to it. What I thought was interesting is the wings are not indestructible. Like a handheld gun did damage to them. That seems... Come on, man. Surely you know somebody in Wakanda.
Yeah, with some vibranium.
Right, this can't be possible. But it was like right in the center of the back, so it's like, oh, they're going to have to put the shield there, and now his blind spot's covered.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's probably Hydra or something in the Senate. I mean, we got that set up where like Bucky allowed Hydra members to be senators and in the government stuff, and the government's going to be Hydra, and they're going to be controlling Captain America, and Captain America's not going to be on the side of the good guys, and Sam's going to have to fight to get the shield back, and Bucky's going to be involved somehow, even though they haven't met yet, and he went to a therapist, and he's sad, and he has nightmares about killing people with the long hair, and I didn't really ever want to see him with the long hair again, but whatever.
I tell you, Sebastian Stan with the short hair is so freaking handsome.
I guess it doesn't make up for... I hate this character. I really do.
Oh, I
think that I'm going to find myself more endeared to him as the show goes on. But I will say this. Going in or coming out of episode 1, I like Boba Fett more than Bucky Barnes.
Boba Fett is a classic character. I mean, I guess technically Bucky
Yeah,
Barnes
I'll
is too,
tell you,
but I
man,
didn't grow up
the
reading
only-
Captain America comics.
The only random fan base that I think, the only random stan base that I think is bigger than Boba Fett maybe is the Winter Soldier fan base.
So here's what did you think of his date with the sushi chef?
Where he just gets up and walks out because of some random event.
He killed Yuri's son, right? That's
Had to have.
Yeah.
As the Winter Soldier.
Also, it is Yuri, right? I'm not like just inventing a name.
I think so.
I think that's right.
Yuri is like a Russian name, though. That dude was not Russian.
No, he's Japanese.
Yeah.
Which I thought which like we're supposed to think is interesting because Bucky, I guess, fought with Hydra, which would have sided with the Japanese in World War II. But like, the Japanese are definitely not the allies.
I guess
of
so.
The United States.
I think we'll find out. Hang on. I'm trying to find this episode on the interwebs.
Anyway, so when we said Strange, I was like, they're going to bring Doctor Strange into this. And if this is how they introduce the multiverse, I'm not happy. I would have preferred it in Scarlet Witch, where there was already magic. I mean, I know there's going to be magic, but like...
Well, I think they're going to introduce the multiverse in the movie with the multiverse in it.
Yeah. But they're going to keep hinting at it. And
right,
people,
but you got to think about the timeline, though. That movie was supposed to come out today.
Really?
Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness? Yeah, that was supposed to come out today.
Oh, dang.
Originally. That was the plan. Was like, this was last summer. It was like
Really?
Black Widow, this.
WandaVision.
No.
They were smart to start with WandaVision. That was the perfect palate cleanser.
Yes, I agree. We've made that point 100 times, though.
I know.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Black Widow. This, I think, Loki or Hawkeye, and also Shang-Chi and Eternals are supposed to have already come out, I believe.
Dang.
And
We really missed something in 2020.
yeah, and Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness was originally going to be like WandaVision, week off, Doctor Strange.
Dang. Okay. You gotta
So
wonder
we're
if
getting
they-
that movie next fall.
Dang, I did not realize that. People have been really hanging their hat on the Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. That was one that I like when they announced. I was like, oh yeah, that'll be one movie that we see. It was not the project I was most excited about coming up. I don't know what was. I guess what I'm really excited for is the next Avengers level event, and I'm curious who's gonna like star.
Yeah, I think we're a good long way away from that.
You think like 2025?
Probably
Sooner.
around there.
I think it's got to be a drastically different cast. You can't just have Iron Man and Captain America in different costumes. I think they can be there, but they still need to be on the support level. Your leadership has to come from like Spider-Man, Doctor Strange.
Right.
Although like Spider-Man's never going to be a leader. Thor can stay. Thor can be around forever.
He's not gonna though.
Didn't Chris Hemsworth renew his contract? Oh, because Jane Foster's taking over.
Yeah, I was pretty sure that's the whole point of that movie. I'm sure he'll still be around, but like I don't think they're gonna kick Chris Hemsworth out of the MCU.
My best guess is they're going to if he renewed his contract. Here's my Thor theory with absolutely no grounds for comics. My Thor theory is Jane Foster takes the mantle, Thor takes the mantle of Odin.
Yeah, I don't think you're that far off, probably.
And then we can continue to get Thor content.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to look up at the original Marvel release calendar
Disney swiped it.
because this was supposed to. It was supposed to be like movie, TV show, movie, TV show, movie, TV show.
I like
For
what
a
they're
long
doing
time.
instead. I like this serial thing we've got going on.
How do you mean?
Like with the TV show every week.
Right? Yeah. I mean that's.
Oh,
that,
so you're saying that they would have been like
it would have been a
the
whole
making
TV
of-
show and then a movie and then a whole TV show and then a movie.
Right. So you're saying like the making of weeks would have been the TV show.
No,
the
I think
movie
they were
weeks.
still gonna do making of,
Okay.
but yeah. So WandaVision was supposed to lead right out of, and that's what I was trying to figure out is what this was originally going to lead into. Because I think that'll sort of maybe give you an idea of like where we're going to go with it.
It could. WandaVision being like a
Well, so the wild thing
Collapsed entity.
is when this starts, WandaVision is over and done with.
but they don't mention it at all. They don't mention like
No, they don't, and I think that's interesting.
you think they would have said something about like, oh, the event in New Jersey,
Right.
just like in passing.
And maybe that's part of why the Senate or the government's being so weird.
That speech he gave about the necessity for Captain America really did not land with me at all.
I don't think it's supposed to.
You think?
Yeah, because I don't think that that's a normal government dude.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the president of America standing up and being like, hey, guys, we need a Captain America.
Because
I think that is some double agent.
I think you're right.
Because there's no reason to intro Bucky with him having a Hail Hydra flashback if Hydra is not involved.
Right. Or if some sort of double agentry.
Right.
You know, if it's not Hydra,
that's his
then it's-
only trick, right? Is we don't know what side Bucky's on.
I think we know pretty well in this. What did you think of the therapy scene? I thought it was fantastic. I love the therapist.
It was very good. I don't know. It's definitely going to be an interesting like tortured artist type vibe with Bucky.
Yeah. I guess I didn't realize that like people don't know who the Winter Soldier is in universe. So when he's on that date with that girl and she's like, "How old are you?" and he says 106, and she's like, "Ha."
Right.
What
I
a
mean, yeah,
funny
he's
joke.
not like an Avenger like the rest of them.
I mean, he fought at the Endgame thing, and in WandaVision we learned that they had some visibility to that.
He fought at the Endgame thing in Wakanda.
No, they were in Schenectady. They were in upstate New York. The Avengers compound.
Oh, were they? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't think they were in Schenectady.
I don't know. They were upstate New York.
That would be wild.
It doesn't matter where it was. The idea is upstate New York is just this big plain of empty.
Which it is.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, if you've never been up there, there's some next level emptiness out there. Especially the further north you go toward Canada.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It gets wild.
Yeah. No, I thought this was pretty good. I like I said, it didn't. It was like it kind of drug by the end of it for me.
I liked the storyline about the shrimp boat, I think. Maybe. I don't really know where I am with that.
I don't know where we're going with that. Like,
I do think so. There was this thing where like Captain America or Sam Wilson is like, oh, I don't want to be Captain America. And then the first thing his nephews call him is Uncle Sam. And it was like, oh, that was a little heavy handed.
yeah. But also just like, it's not any fun for me to watch a TV show about like declined bank loans. Right. Like that just.
I think Marvel took a risk with that scene. I think it landed.
I did not land for me. Like, I get where they're going, and like, you know, life was so weird after the blip, and like, I think you're gonna have this uprising of like, of the people that Captain Torres or whatever was talking about, of the flag smashers.
Oh, the flag smashers. I think Sam is that.
What do you
I
mean?
think Sam, like, either Sam or Bucky is on that side.
Of
So
things
Sam
were
was
better
like-
during the blip? Sam
Things
was
are better-
blipped.
Things are better without borders. So is Bucky.
I don't think that's what those people are saying.
Right, but when the way Sam talked about it when the guy was like, "Oh, you got to keep an eye on these buckos," Sam, the way he delivered his lines, which was terrible, to me communicated like, "Keep an eye on that, and if it makes too much noise, let me know so that I can tell them to calm it down."
Well,
because we don't want to make too
I mean,
much noise.
quite obviously, this is going to be Captain America fighting against America. Like,
As it usually is.
they've
right.
made that clear as crystal with this first episode, with some random dude in the suit.
Right. And we'll have to deal with Sam. All the trailers and everything, Sam and Bucky have the shield. So either the trailers are a total farce, which I'm totally cool with, or this conflict with faux Captain America can't last that long.
Well, I think here's what I would say. There's 8 episodes? Yeah, they're all 8 weeks. Next week, Sam and Bucky meet up. The week after that, they heist the shield.
Or Bucky knows everyone in Wakanda, and we get Shuri to make him a second one.
You know, I wouldn't paint it like that, though.
Like the Cap shield?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the Wakanda shields were sweet.
Yeah.
Cap
But
had
you
those
can't throw
like
that.
he threw them. I think he had like the Urukai shields. Those were awesome.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the like light shields.
No,
like
no,
hard
no,
light
the-
shields.
Those were very cool.
Yeah, I was like, those are neat, but like you can't throw that. That's the whole like you gotta be able to beat people with the shield thing. Like
Yeah.
that's the Captain America thing.
I don't know. Just send in Captain Marvel. Have her take out all the bad guys.
That would be an absolute for any of the like big superheroes to come in during the show would be an absolute cop out. Because like as much as we
Well,
want to
for
like
the-
Sam and Bucky, like it's the same deal with like the Hawkeye show, right? Where like Hawkeye by himself, however great of an assassin he is sort of outgunned
By everyone.
by everything. So like
Right.
if Doctor Strange shows up and it's just like poof,
I
bye.
solved your problem. Bye.
Solve your problem. It's really strange that you found yourself in this predicament, Dr. Palmer.
Palmer. She's coming back. I like Rachel McAdams. So put her in the shows, put her in the movies, put her in everything.
Yeah, so like if any of them shows up, it's just going to be an absolute like
Even if like Scarlet Witch shows up or White Vision, it's like, oh, well, this was easy.
Yeah, I would be careful if you say even if Scarlet Witch shows up. There's that whole argument going on right now of like she's the most powerful Avenger and you're a racist and a misogynist if you don't think so.
No, I do think so. That's why I think it would be too easy.
Yeah. Like, this is where White Vision has been, is fighting terrorists in Tunisia. I
Seems
tried
like small
to find
peanuts
the
for
ship
him.
of Theseus.
I think about the ship of Theseus every single day. Not because of WandaVision, but it was one of those things that, like, in a class, we discussed ship of Theseus, and now I'm like,
I mean, it's
I
definitely
can't
been on
stop.
my mind more recently because of WandaVision.
I don't know that it has for me. I would say it's been on my mind less.
I don't believe you. I just don't. Like,
I'm just so cool and so woke
you're making this
and so-
wild, like, oh man, I was a philosophy major.
I was.
I think about the ship of Theseus every single day. Excuse me, sir, that's an ad hoc fallacy.
Why did Sam put down the shield? That's what I want to know. Like, if he's
Because
if the
it's a
first scene-
television program,
I
and
get
we have
that,
to
but-
create drama.
episode 1, the first thing he does is like block bullets with a shield. How convenient would a shield be?
Right, but he feels like the shield belongs to somebody else.
Also, Sam Wilson working with the chair force. Boo. They even illustrate that here. They've got a man in a chair.
What?
The chair force. That's what I've hung out with maybe 3 military people for like maybe 5 minutes, and that's how they make fun of the Air Force.
Ah, hanging out with Navy people. If you want
don't-
to fly, join the Navy. How
I don't understand.
about we just don't join the military? How about we cut defense spending entirely? How about frick the military?
entirely, that would probably be insane.
Not entirely, but like, you know.
we're
when
a big
they
enough-
really hit you with like, you know, we spend more on our military than the next 25 countries combined, 24 of which are our allies, then like
it gets a little
little
hazy.
dicey, doesn't it? Right? I you know, wherever you want to come down on the Flint, Michigan thing, like it'd be pretty easy to get Flint, Michigan water if we just stopped buying tanks for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like Bernie Sanders' health plan costs 1 jet,
That's insane.
and they just wreck those things.
That's why this what happened to that plane? So Sam was killing folks?
Yeah,
that what
left
I'm
and right.
understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't about that. I felt like you got to find a way, man. Because now you're going to go and talk to your kids, and they're going to call you Uncle Sam. You got to be careful.
Yeah. He's Uncle Sam. He kills people.
I guess so, yeah.
It's pretty straightforward. You got there. We're going to have Sam Wilson learn some lessons during this TV show, or there was no reason for them to make it. Right?
Yeah.
He can't just be like, I'm Captain America now, and everything's great. Because that doesn't make for a good television. Then I just have to watch Bucky Barnes go to therapy.
No, I think so. The Sam Wilson comic, and this is very rare that I've even read a comic, but the first Sam Wilson Captain America, like Sam Wilson Captain America #1, he already he accepts the mantle right off the bat. His costume is painted by the first episode,
Yeah.
or by the first issue, and he's like battling with internally, like, how do I live up to Cap, as opposed to I don't want to be Cap. And I do feel like, listen, man, you're a soldier, and it's yours, or it belongs to you, or whatever Cap says to him. That's an order, okay? You got to listen. That was your captain speaking. Although I think Cap is an army guy.
Yeah.
Do we have an Air Force? I guess we would have started an Air Force around then, right?
Yeah. I think that was the point of the Air Force,
Was
was to fly
World War
planes.
II?
Yeah.
Right.
No, we had the Air Force in World War One.
Did we? I don't
Yeah.
think- We learned last week. I've gotten many emails that I didn't know how what World War One was
You've
about.
gotten many emails.
I would say comments, emails, DMs. Yeah, people have contacted me.
So a
being like,
bunch of people have emailed you directly.
no, emailed the show.
They have not emailed the show.
Well, then maybe it wasn't emails, but DMs, ats on Twitter.
It's like,
People
hey,
have
World
gotten
War
in
One's actually pretty interesting, guys.
Yeah, telling me all about World War One. What I'm learning is that this was a war over like just bad timing. It was like a bad chain reaction is what I learned about World War One.
It was a war because there was going to be a war, right? Like that's
Right.
I mean, hey, dude, it got us "Take Me Out" by Franz Ferdinand, so it was probably worth it.
Yeah.
No,
Probably not.
No,
A lot
probably
of
not
people
worth
died.
it. But that
Yeah.
song does bop.
Yeah, but I mean, those
But
trenches.
they named that
sounds
band after
awful.
that Archduke that got iced in.
And then they named that song about how he died.
I mean, I guess.
And then it's about like my understanding of World War One. Like I say, don't you know? You say you don't know.
I mean,
don't
they did.
know.
They named the song "Take Me Out." They didn't name the song like, "Oh no, my car got stuck on the wrong side of a parade route, and then I got almost assassinated 4 times by the same dude who eventually managed to assassinate me somehow." It's not a Panic at the Disco song. That's way too long of a title. Look up the freaking assassination of Franz Ferdinand sometime. It's a fascinating chain of events of how bad that dude was at not getting assassinated.
I wonder if there's like a worthwhile, in context but also fun narrative novel version. Maybe not fun. Fun, maybe not the word I want to use there, but like nonfiction that's readable. Keeps you hooked.
I don't think
Keeps
they've
you
made
engaged.
a biopic about either Franz Ferdinand or Gavrilo Princip. But yes, I do know the name of the guy that shot Franz Ferdinand off the dome, by the way. Don't know why. Has not been useful to
proud of
me
you for
in
knowing that.
approximately 14 years.
So,
but
Sam in the Captain America and the Winter Soldier, Sam Wilson in the Winter Soldier is really what we're at now. Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes. We're gonna have to get to Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Or
What-
Sam is out of the show entirely, and the rest of the show is Bucky Barnes being like, "Excuse me, somebody else?" Absolutely not.
well, the show is called The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, you're right. Duh.
So I don't think we have to get to Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
We have to get.
Or they
Falcon
would have
and
called
Winter Soldier.
it Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
So therapy is the problem. Do you think the therapist at one point is going to be like train car, Hydra?
Rusted train car. Lurk.
Bullshit.
Lark.
I do know that Zemo. No is a stretch. I'm pretty sure that Zemo is in this.
That's the leading theory, yeah.
Yeah, which I would be all about. That dude is a great villain.
Yeah. So yeah, I do think there's a solid chance that the therapist is not on Bucky's side because she was like kind of pushing him to like remember these things and like embrace his nightmares.
I don't know if "embrace" is the right word. I don't know. I do think. I mean, I'm not a therapist, and I don't go to a therapist nearly often enough. But I think it should be challenging. I think it should be pushing you in an environment that is safe.
I mean, sure, I don't truly think Disney is trying to say anything about therapy here.
I don't know. I do know one thing I loved about this episode was representation. There was a lot of different colored people, which I thought was very cool. Very noticeable.
For sure.
Bucky goes on a date with an Asian girl. We see a lot of everything. And then Sam calls out the bake teller, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you don't got money for our people.
That's true. That's
Things
true.
always get tight for people like us." Which
I mean, I got to imagine it's pretty hard for black shrimp farmers in Louisiana. Like, that's got to suck.
I imagine the shrimping business, when you're not out on the water shrimping or chartering, sucks.
Yeah.
The paperwork involved with that has got to be the
Forrest Gump
worst.
probably, again, like we keep coming back to like maybe Forrest Gump gave us too cute of an idea about things, including the Vietnam War. But yeah, probably shrimping is one of those things as well.
Yeah, I bet it's tough.
Yeah.
And Louisiana is known for its excellent schooling, so it's like
No, it's not actually.
correct.
It's not known for its excellent schooling or its excellent treatment of black people.
Correct. Yeah. It was a subtle irony. I don't really have much else to say about this first episode. I'm
I had a
curious
point I was
how-
going to make and I lost it. Hang
Okay.
on. See if I can get it back. It was about therapy. Yeah, no, I think we're going to continue to see Bucky Barnes like struggle with trusting anybody with good reason. If I could be unseated by somebody saying train car, then I would also not trust anybody because like anybody could say train car at me.
Right.
And I would go on a killing spree.
Right.
So yeah, they didn't meet each other in this episode, which I thought was a wild pitch.
I think
Not that they don't know each other, but like
right. I think the little thing at the end there is going to drive them together pretty quick.
that's what I'm saying. Is next week they're going to meet up, and the week after that they're going to steal the shield.
And then Bucky's going to be like, how easy would it be to throw it? And Sam's going to be like, he said it was mine, man. And Bucky's going to be like, and you said it was theirs. So I don't know what you want.
Also, I can throw it way better than you. I'm a super soldier.
Right. Look at my awesome arm.
You're a guy with fake wings.
That they can be damaged by a P99, man. James Bond could take you out. Also, we know the Stark estate.
I'd be curious of like a mashup of like who would win in a fight, the Avengers or James Bond.
Scarlet Witch wins.
Maybe if she knows he's there.
I guess. Depends upon the Bond. If it's Brosnan, he can't get shot. He's bulletproof.
If it's Craig, he just won't die. Like
Right.
Scarlet Witch will rip his head off and he'll be like, "Psych."
Tell your kids that I had your dad scratch my balls.
And if it's Sean Connery, which it can't be because Sean Connery's passed on, sadly. But if it was Sean Connery, then yeah, they would just like he and Scarlet Witch would hook up and everything would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be super weird.
Yeah, it would be very, very weird.
Miss Olsen.
Yes, Sean Connery as James Bond would call the Scarlet Witch by the last name of the actor.
I know your sister.
Maximoff. That sounds like a Russian name.
It is kind of a James Bond girl name.
Wanda
Maximoff.
Maximoff? Yeah.
Yeah.
And for her to be like, actually, I'm the Scarlet Witch.
Those are all Bond girl names.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah.
And she works for, or Goldfinger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to...
Me neither. Hey, thanks for listening to our Monday Marvel episode, Marvel Mondays.
This is probably out on Monday-ish.
Probably. Monday-ish. Moving forward, Monday-ish. We've got some great music for you. New music by Sam C. Jones. If you want to find his music, Sam C. Jones on Spotify or a whole bunch of different places. And then our graphics are all by Vaishon Brandon at graphite.vmb on Instagram. I'm Tyler Carlin. You can find me at all the ats in the description of this episode. And he's Ethan Edgehill. You can find him at all the ats in the description of this episode. Any final remarks?
Nope.
Adios.
Arrivederci.
This has been a WBNE production. For more great shows, visit WBNE.org.